Welcome to the Navigating Dental Insurance Podcast, where we don't take from insurance companies. Here are your hosts, Mr. Jordan Comstock and Mr. Ben Tuine.
Welcome to another exciting episode, or another episode. Every episode is exciting of the same
it's always exciting.
Yes.
Dude.
Yeah, this is the Navigating Dental Insurance Podcast. Welcome, folks. Ben Tuine here, Jordan Comstock. What's up, Jordan?
Yo, dog. How you doing?
I'm doing well, my brother. You know, just it's been great. It's been a great last few weeks. I'm sorry I missed a few key episodes with Dr. Mark Casas and Gary Takis and Anissa Holmes. Oh man,
we've had a lot of good people come on, and I'm sad that you weren't able to be on those calls. But it's been a fun few weeks here.
I know. Yeah, it's been great to listen to these podcasts and all the great advice and a lot of the great things, especially with what Dr. Casas is doing with his networking group, which I think is an awesome idea.
Yeah,
and we look forward to participating in that group and providing education and as much as we can, especially here on the podcast. You know, hopefully sharing something that's helpful to somebody. Sorry, for some reason my tongue is twisted today. I don't know what's going on.
It's all good, dude. It's all good.
So Jordan, lately, in my world, I'm dealing with the credentialing and the fee negotiations and transitions. And I'd say in my career,
all the crap.
I know
it's teasing.
It's crazy. You know, dealing with insurance companies in general. You know, you kind of dished a lot of crap, and that's kind of our world. Yeah. You know, it's like, whatever. You know, we know how to do it, and we know how to do it well. But the interesting thing that just came up that I guess started your conversation, well, our conversation about credentialing and dealing with insurance companies, is that, you know, when you look at transitioning a dental practice, buying a dental practice, starting a new dental practice, you often deal with this credentialing issue, which is, it's kind of, you know, like Blue Cross is not easy to deal with. Oftentimes they say, we're not going to send you a single payment until you're credentialed. It's like, what the heck, man? You know, some doctors, if you don't do it right, you could be sitting on your hands for months before you get a payment from Blue Cross. But
wow, yeah.
I guess the reason why we want to chat with you folks today, Jordan and I, is because we're seeing some fraud go on as it pertains to transitions.
Yeah.
And because when you look at a transition, a lot of practices, a lot of doctors recognize that I have to get in network with at least Delta and Blue Cross if those are two plans that the seller's taking in an effort to retain patients and make sure that I continue to receive payments from that insurance carrier. So here's something that we see often. Doctor buys the practice. Doctor gets advice from an outside party to bill the seller's information to insurance while the new owner is in the process of getting credentialed. In medical school, dental school, medical clinics, hospitals, whenever you bill a claim to insurance and the rendering dentist is somebody else other than who performed the treatment, you can get into real hot water with insurance carriers, because the guideline is that the doctor that appears on the record has to be the doctor of record or supervising doctor on site at the time of treatment. So kind of like what you said yesterday, Jordan, is that when you submit a claim under another dentist who's not even on site, that's no different than giving your wife your driver's license.
Say, hey, you'll be fine. Go down to your girl's trip in California and just take my license. You'll be fine.
You know, and that's a good example because I actually still have my commercial driver's license from college. And
nice.
I remember when you go through school, you get to drive on the road, but you don't necessarily have to have a commercial driver's license. But you have to have an instructor who is licensed to drive commercial vehicles sitting right next to you. You cannot drive a vehicle on your own. You have to be supervised by a trainer. And so you see that in dental school too. You have students that are performing dentistry, and oftentimes the claims are submitted under the teacher's names, you know. And in residency, that's the same way. And so the issue that I'm seeing in dentistry is that people that are in professional positions, whether it's an attorney, practice management consultant, a broker, transition expert, I think you have to be very, very careful. If you're one of those listening, what I'm about to say is not intended to offend you, but it is fraud. it is considered fraud from the eyes and perspective of an insurance carrier. If you submit a claim,
and that's who you're contracting with, right?
Exactly. Well, that's who. I mean, in essence, when you're doing that, and the attending doctor or the doctor that's the rendering doctor that appears on the claim form, if that doctor's not on site, that's 100% fraud, no matter which way you look at it.
Yeah.
And the reason why this is important is because I'm seeing a lot of transition agreements where doctors are doing some type of locums tenens agreement, is what they refer to it as in contracts, and it says that the seller gives the buyer a 30 to 60 to 90-day window to bill the seller's information to insurance while the buyer gets credentialed. Now, many disagree with me on this, but the reality is every lawsuit that I've seen where a buyer is getting sued by the seller or the buyer is getting sued by the insurance carrier are 100% situations where the seller is not even on site, or the doctor that appears on the claim is not on site. That doctor's out, vacationing or gone or completely outside of the practice, and doctors get sued. There are 3 cases in Florida just recently that an attorney contacted me about because he wanted my opinion about Delta Dental and Florida Combined Life with regards to this situation. And he was saying, yeah, there are 3 doctors in the state that are getting sued right now by insurance carriers, and these are doctors that just bought practices 2 months ago.
Oh, wow. Yikes, dude.
You got to be careful.
That sucks.
Be careful where you get that advice. So the appropriate standard, Jordan, is that if you are going to engage in billing the seller's information, and you're doing the treatment as a different doctor with a different license, the seller has to be on site. The seller has to be the doctor of record. The seller has to be the supervising doctor of that case, and somewhat involved in that treatment, kind of like the old dental school days when you're in dental school and you did treatment and it was submitted out under your teacher's name. It's the same process and same policies that apply. So word of caution to those that are transitioning or looking to transition, just make sure you understand the legalities. If you consult with an attorney, make sure you fully vet this out, because most attorneys that I speak to know this, and they're very aware of the implications if you engage in that type of billing where you're submitting somebody else's license information that's not even on site. That's just a no-no.
So I have a question for you, Ben. So what is the process like when it comes to credentialing? I think I can't remember who I was talking to the other day. They were just out of dental school, I think one of my friends or something, and they were asking about that. I'm like, you know what? Don't even deal with it. Just go talk to Ben. What's the process like for these guys?
Oh, it's a little bit of a nightmare initially, because as a dental student, you can't submit a credentialing application without having malpractice insurance and an MPI number. Yeah. So if you are,
let's say they've graduated just barely, and they're wanting to get the process going because they know they're going to be working in a practice or buying their own practice. What's the process there?
Yeah, step number 1 is apply for an MPI. Go to MPI. Okay.
What does MPI stand for?
National Provider Identifier. Cool. It's one of those codes that the government wants to track everybody with. It's kind of like another social security number for doctors and anybody that has a license to practice medicine at any level. Nurses can get an MPI number. Hygienists can get an MPI number, although it's not necessary. MPI numbers are primarily designed for those that bill insurance. So there are 2 types. There's organizational MPI, which is type 2. That's for businesses. So your LLC or PLLC, you can apply for an organizational MPI, which I recommend that you do, because the federal laws state that every insurance carrier that receives a claim from a business entity, not a solo provider. Like if you're billing your Social Security number, you don't need an MPI, an organizational MPI. But if you're billing a tax ID, you have to have an organizational MPI. Now, that's not fully enforced by most plans, but in the near future, if you don't have one, then your claims are just not going to get paid. So if you don't have a Type 2 MPI number, Google MPI, and then you can follow the steps to apply, and it's free. It doesn't take too long to apply. Type 1 MPI is for individuals. Now, if you're just graduating or looking to graduate soon, go ahead and apply for a Type 1 MPI, individual MPI. And oftentimes they'll ask you graduation date. You can get a letter from your school indicated that you passed all the course credits and you're on track to graduate at a certain date in the near future, and MPI will approve that for you. So that's step one. Step two is you have to have malpractice insurance. Sometimes if you're going to go as an associate, the owners of those practices will pull out a malpractice policy for you. Most of the times you have to pay for your own. So you cannot ever submit a dental application for credentialing without malpractice insurance. And then the other thing is, if you're a general dentist, pediatric dentist, periodontist, anything except for an orthodontist, you have to get a DEA number. You don't necessarily need a DEA certificate when you start practicing right out of school, simply because the attending doctors or the doctors that own the practice can use their DEA to prescribe medicine. Mm-hmm. But it's a good idea for you to apply for one, simply because it's one of those areas that you can control your own utilization within the DEA. DEA prefers that anyway. They prefer that everybody that is prescribing apply for their own DEA certificate or permissions to prescribe medicine. So, and then once you get those items, then you can then start getting get yourself credentialed with insurance companies. But, be prepared as a new student or new to dentistry. You've never been credentialed before. It'll take a good 3 to 6 months to get credentialed with insurance. Sometimes a little bit longer, because what we deal with, Jordan, you submit an application to Blue Cross. They confirm that they received it the very next day. You call to follow up in 2 weeks, and they say, we don't have record of anything regarding this doctor. We don't have any paperwork. We don't have this. We don't have that. And you respond to the person that gave you confirmation, and they reply like, I don't know what you're talking about, And so you kind of have to spin your wheel, sending it over and over and over and over and over again until they finally get it. I wish there were laws that would at least force insurance carriers to acknowledge receipt of paperwork. But
because there's all that crap.
It is a hassle, and in fact, we're dealing with that with a number of our clients now.
Really,
you submit an application, you follow up, and they confirm receipt, and then 2 weeks later, you follow up with them again. They're like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who that doctor is." It's like, "Are you kidding? We have documentation that you said you got it."
Wow.
And it's just frustrating. So, I always recommend if you're buying or if you're a new dentist coming right out of school, you want to give yourself self-sufficient time to get credentialed, unless the seller employs a policy where they say any work that you do, since I'm on site, I will submit it under my name because I'm still going to be supervising you. So kind of like how you do it in dental school, and I see that happen quite a bit, and that's totally fine. Again, as long as the doctor's on site, that's what the guideline is they have to be the doctor of record and supervising the case and so forth. But if you are purchasing a practice, keep in mind that the DSOs, the large organizations, they make it a requirement minimum that the seller stays on board for 1 year. You know why that is, Jordan?
Why?
Well, a couple of reasons. Number one, the new owner needs time to get credentialed. Number two, there has to be a smooth pass-off transition of trust from seller to buyer. Mm-hmm. And the DSOs know that the trust is an important factor in reducing and oftentimes eliminating attrition. I don't think you can eliminate attrition, but that's what they say. But you'll reduce attrition greatly if you can have the seller remain on board and fully endorse the buyer by publicly saying, yeah, this is my guy or my gal. Fully trust him or her, and I sold my practice to this person.
Definitely, it helps build credibility. Definitely,
exactly. Yep. And those patients already trust the seller, and so a full year gives you a chance to see the majority of the patients and pass that trust on to the new owner. But for the credentialing, I would give yourself at least minimum 6 months. Because there are always
6 months. Wow.
Yeah, there are always unforeseen things. Like, for instance, what I mentioned. You submit an application to Blue Cross, and you follow up with them, and they don't know who you are. And they say, "Who the hell are you? I don't know you. I'm licensed." They don't care.
Yeah.
The reality is a lot of these people get overwhelmed, and so guess where your application goes?
The garbage?
In the shredder, yeah.
Yeah, the shredder. Because they really do shred things there, right?
Oh, stories upon stories, Jordan.
I've heard.
I have stories of people I know that work for insurance. One of the more fun stories that I tell is So I have a friend that works for an insurance company that starts with the letter H that I won't mention because I don't want another lawsuit threat. This
I love those.
So
those are the best.
Yeah, I know they're fun to deal with. So my friend he's a claims processor for a certain insurance carrier. So he gets a stack of claims and he gets claims mailed to him or sent via electronic format. And their systems on their end are so old. You know, the software they use is all DOS based. So, and they only get one computer screen. If you request a second one, it's kind of like submitting a new bill to Congress and going through that whole process. And it could take years to get a second monitor. So instead, they print everything and kill a lot of trees by printing a bunch of paper and printing the claims. So my friend said, yeah, I had stacks of claims, thousands of claims printed off that I was trying to get to. And everybody was that way. This is a room with a cubicle, like 15 cubicles, and all they did was process claims. Mm-hmm. So this company comes in and they wheel in these really big bins. You know the trash cans that you use, the green cans here in Utah that you put on the side of the road with your trash?
Yeah, I just did it, this morning.
Exact same size. But they had a lock on top of them and then a small slit for you to submit paper. And on the side of it, it was some shredding company. And supervisor comes in and says, now, everybody stop what you're doing. Take all the paper that you have in front of you and put them in these bins. And then that person walked out.
Wow.
And he said this activity happens once a month where, by design, we process the ones that we can get to. And then we just force the dentist to resubmit claims because we know they will and they have to. And they're not good at providing proof and evidence that we received the claims. And so he's like, the dental offices really don't know the process in which to have confirmation that the claim was actually received by the insurance carrier, which with clearinghouses that submit claims for doctors, they do confirmation, But he says the biggest ones is when doctors are mailing claims in, it's so easy just to throw them in the shredder without even opening them because there's no tracking number,
Yeah.
There's no way for them to confirm that the insurance company received it. So I know many offices are like, yeah, totally. I had to submit claims over and over and over again. Well, now you know.
Yeah, they just shred them.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Insane. Yeah, it's a system that needs to be refined and improved. And, I have some solutions that maybe we'll talk about later this year. But so that's the world of insurance. Credentialing, fraud.
Credentialing.
Yep. So be careful. Be careful out there, folks. I guess one of the other things, Jordan, that we need to chat about is, what I know you talk a lot about membership programs on here.
Yeah, dog.
And I just want to report back to you that, yeah, dog. Sorry, delayed action there,
Yeah, you're fine.
I want to report back to you, Jordan, that we do have a client that's been in practice for 2 years. And they got started on their membership program. They got on a bunch of PPOs because those are the same PPOs that the seller was on. Mm-hmm. And they built their membership program pretty significant. I mean, they acquired closer to 700 patients on their membership program.
Oh, I know lots of offices that are doing that. That's awesome. That's a good sign. Yeah.
Initially started off with being participants with 28 insurance plans.
Wow.
Guess how many they have now that they're in network with?
0?
7.
7. They started out with 20. 0 would have been awesome.
We're on the path to 0.
They started out with 28 2 years ago, and they're slowly reducing it. That is so cool, and you're helping them out with that.
Yeah, I mean, these are for the most part, most of those insurance plans where the max allowed fee for a crown was $550 to $650, and we got rid of those because these patients that are coming in under his own in-house membership plan are paying him over $1,000 for a crown, or $900, I think, with his discounts. And so looking at those decisions as you grow, I mean, you just want to set things off on the right note. And what I've learned is you need to build major momentum with these alternative insurance plans or membership plans.
Totally.
Because it takes time to build, but once you start building that momentum, the beauty about all of this is the trend is that more and more offices are finding themselves less and less dependent on insurance contracts. They can start getting rid of them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you get the membership programs, if they're set up right, they'll generate that recurring revenue every month or every year for the practice, and I can't say this enough. That's the holy grail of business models out there is to get recurring revenue that's predictable, and that's how you can reduce dependence on dental insurance, is by creating these cash flow systems that can help you ease off of them, right? I mean, the other day we look at with our software, we look at practices dashboards on a daily basis, and we gauge what they're doing to make them successful and things like that. And we're seeing practices. We were looking at one practice yesterday that they have enough revenue, more than enough revenue that comes in from their membership program that pays for the entire overhead of their practice, right? Every month, without fail, it comes in. If the doctor and staff wanted to take a month off, they have enough revenue coming in from their membership program to cover all of their overhead costs, right? Yeah. And I think that's the thing that practices need to be focusing on is when it comes to reducing dependence on dental insurance.
We got
Go ahead.
We got a new stat that just came out on how many people are uninsured in the United States.
Oh yeah, what's the new stat? I'd like to know.
178,000 people in the United States don't have dental insurance.
What percentage is that, Ben?
That's more than half. There's 310 million people in the United States, and 178,000 of them do not have dental insurance.
Or 100? Is that 178,000 or 178 million?
Oh, sorry, 178 million.
There we go.
Sorry.
It seems less than last time I checked.
We're going to delete that. No, we'll just keep that in there.
No, you're fine.
178 million. Not thousand, million. Do not have dental insurance throughout the United States. So 300 million people nationwide, 310 million. So that's a significant number. It's much greater. And these are statistics that are coming in. Ooh, where did you
got that stat from, Ben?
I can't throw our source under the bus, but it's an organization. It's multiple organizations that are reputable, and we received this information from them a couple of weeks ago. And most of these organizations they are insurance carriers, insurance institutions on the medical side that do research on uninsured patients, both on the medical and dental side, because they sell dental plans, they sell medical plans. And these organizations have reported that the 100 million uninsured patients that I think it was the ADA that they previously reported that a few years ago. That is, they say that's 100% inaccurate. It's closer to 178 million people without dental insurance nationwide.
Yeah, so that's gone up since last I've known. It's gone up a little bit. It's just shy under 60% of the United States now. I don't know the exact number. I'll have to do some math, but and I'm not in the mood to do math right now, Ben. So just under 60%. Wow, that is a huge amount of people that don't have dental insurance. I am one of those people, and I am looking for a practice in Utah that has a membership program that I can join.
Well, hold off on that, because people are going to start to see advertisements here in the next few weeks. I'm not going to tip off what they're going to see, but if you have patients that don't have insurance, membership programs are a way to go. But for people like you and me, Jordan, we can go and do a membership plan, but there is a new plan that is going to hit the market here in a few weeks.
Oh, cool.
And it's going to be so attractive that you're going to see people that work for dental offices enroll their families in it, because it makes sense. It's a revolutionary aspect of delivering dental care, dental benefits, under a way affordable process than using traditional dental insurance. But just wait. I'll give you more info on that, and we'll actually share it with the public on our podcast as soon as they hit the live press releases, which I've signed confidentiality not to talk about until then, but
until they release it.
It's coming here in the next few weeks.
Sweet, dude. Right on. No, I think this is good information today for our audience. Any other thoughts there, Ben?
No, I just want to give a shout out to those that have reviewed us on iTunes. Thank you so much.
I haven't even paid attention.
And
Well, so thank you.
Yeah,
Who's reviewed us?
and I also want to thank a good friend, Dr. Anthony Gonzalez, out of Corpus Christi. If you're listening, thank you very much for all your kind comments on the Facebook posts. But we do have a Facebook page too. It's not something that we're promoting just yet, but if you want to find us, it's Navigating Dental Insurance Podcast on Facebook. We're going to build this to create just an online community strictly to talk about insurance stuff and membership programs.
Totally.
We're part of a bunch of Facebook pages, as you guys probably, our listeners are. And you get a variety of different things, but we want to dedicate this Facebook page to helping people resolve and solve insurance issues. For instance, today, on one of the Utah pages, Jordan, somebody posts a question about, can you charge interest to an insurance company that's beyond the reasonable time to pay a claim, and I didn't know for years and years and years. The rumor was yes, you can do that. Well, guess what? There's an actual law in Utah that requires insurance companies to pay interest if they don't pay the claims. I think within 30
Really?
calendar days. Yeah.
So how do you? What amount of interest can a practice do? At least in Utah.
I'm not sure. I actually emailed the person that made that comment and invited her to join the podcast. So.
Oh yeah, let's bring her. Bring her on and talk about that because that's interesting to me.
For sure. And then I think for any of you listeners, if there's something interesting or something new and revolutionary, or insurance questions that you have, membership program questions you have, send them to us or anybody that you wish to have on our podcast. We'd love to reach out to them. But
totally.
Yeah. So. That's it for me, Jordan.
Yeah, that's it for me then, Ben.
All right. Well, folks, Jordan's leaving for Disneyland. We're wishing fun over the next several days and maybe weeks. I don't know how long you're going. But
a week.
But for the rest of you, join us again next week on the Navigating Dental Insurance Podcast. Thanks for listening.
Rock and roll.